It was September 10th at Utah Valley University. To the eye, the air appeared ordinary, yet the atmosphere was far from calm. Thousands had gathered on the open quad, shoulder to shoulder, a living, breathing sea of anticipation. Hats waved, phones streamed live, and everyone seemed desperate to be part of the moment. But this was more than a speech. It was a fever dream gathering, a quintessentially American performance, amplified to the extreme. At the center of it all sat Charlie Kirk, poised, composed, commanding the crowd with an almost supernatural charisma. His hands cut through the air as he spoke, each word carefully measured, rolling out with the confidence of someone untouchable. And then, in a single instant, chaos erupted. A deafening crack split the sky. For a moment, disbelief froze the crowd. But the truth arrived with terrifying clarity. A single, precise shot from somewhere unseen. Heads whipped around. Screams erupted. Kirk jolted sideways, collapsing into his chair as red stained his collar. Security surged onto the stage. Panicked fans dove for cover, trampling one another in their flight. In less than a minute, the cheerful rally had become a live crime scene. Phones shook in trembling hands, broadcasting confusion, fear, and horror to the world in real time. This was no ordinary act of violence. It was theater, a warning, a spectacle that demanded attention. The media scrambled, talking heads debated, and the world struggled to make sense of what had just happened. Some claimed it was a lone sniper. Others whispered darker possibilities. Whatever the truth, it felt like the opening act of something far larger. All eyes eventually turned to one figure, Erika Kirk. First spotted at the hospital, later at a makeshift memorial, she stood at the epicenter of the storm. Her face was composed, her body controlled. Her tears barely touched her eyes. To some, she seemed almost too perfect, her grief polished, vintage, like mourning captured in old black and white photographs. Her statement to the press was crisp, almost businesslike. Gratitude to first responders, a promise to carry forward her husband's mission, an image of unwavering dignity. Even in heartbreak, she projected strength, shielding their two children while maintaining the respectability of the empire her husband had built. For a fleeting moment, it seemed the world might witness a quiet, dignified grieving period, but that illusion shattered swiftly. Enter Candace Owens, a force of nature, storming the scene before the funeral flowers had wilted. Her presence ignited social media, charting at the top of right-wing podcasts, her words looping endlessly on TikTok and X. Owens transformed mourning into a public trial, her podcasts functioning as legal indictments. Who ordered the hit on Charlie Kirk? Who was lying about what happened? Then came the remark that left the nation stunned. Kirk had been betrayed by his pillow. The insinuation was sharp, shadowing Erika without ever naming her. Owens didn't need to point fingers outright. Suspicion alone was enough. She challenged her audience to connect the dots, daring them to question everything. The country split into two stark images. On one side, Erika Kirk, calm, statuesque, the embodiment of composed grief. On the other, Candace Owens, fiery, explosive, a digital avenger inciting outrage. The divide was unmistakable, and the feud had gone public. Candace's fury was rooted not just in grief, but in history. Once director of urban engagement at Turning Point USA, she had been pushed out years prior after voicing unfiltered truths that clashed with the organization. Now, with a microphone in hand, she returned to the spotlight with vengeance. The official story, she claimed, was a fabrication. Tyler Robinson, the alleged shooter, didn't fit eyewitness accounts. Video evidence was missing. She described a shooter in tactical gear, stationed on a rooftop, like a scene from a QAnon or CIA storyboard. Owens painted a picture of systemic cover-up, alleging the FBI pressured Utah authorities to close the case prematurely. Owens thrived on doubt. Evidence was unnecessary. Gaps and inconsistencies fueled her narrative. Each unanswered question became a recruitment tool, each suspicion a spark. Meanwhile, Kirk's own podcast transformed into a shrine, featuring right-wing icons like Tucker Carlson, Glenn Beck, and J.D. Vance, each pledging vengeance in Kirk's name. Their mourning was polished, righteous, institutional. Owens, by contrast, refused to be scripted. Her rage was raw, her suspicions relentless, her platform electric with implication. Yet Erika did not respond with fire. She embodied the opposite: forgiveness, control, resilience. She became a symbol of steadfastness amid chaos, delivering what many considered one of the most consequential speeches in modern American history. Her audience watched in awe as she vowed to continue Kirk's mission, maintaining calm in a storm that threatened to consume everything. But Candace escalated. She accused everyone: the FBI, fellow podcasters, media outlets, alleging federal-level corruption and conspiracies reaching the highest echelons. Israeli billionaire Bill Ackman and even Prime Minister Netanyahu were drawn into her narrative, denying allegations that only fueled the speculation. Every rebuttal became proof, every denial evidence of a deeper cover-up. The conservative movement fractured under the strain. Podcasts became battlegrounds, social media war zones. Smaller podcasters parroted Owens' theories, while Turning Point USA rallied behind Erika, defending both her and the official story. Charlie Kirk's memory, once unifying, became a prize in a contest for influence and visibility. Even family dynamics deteriorated. Relatives questioned Erika's composure, whispering about secrets and rehearsed grief. Meanwhile, the very spectacle of Charlie Kirk's death accelerated the ambitions of others. Memorial stages became showcases. Names like Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, and Vivek Ramaswamy paraded, vying to carry Kirk's torch, while subtly positioning themselves for prominence. Tributes blurred into ambition, reverence into rivalry. Candace Owens' narrative persisted. She claimed a federal-level conspiracy, accused Tyler Robinson as a pawn, and challenged the very authority of Utah police and the FBI. Her listeners consumed every allegation, every gap in evidence, and transformed doubt into outrage. Erika remained steadfast, her silence a shield, her composure a line in the sand. The result was a nation divided, not by the event itself, but by competing narratives: the widow versus the avenger, silence versus rage, dignity versus fury. A morality play unfolded in real time. Who could be trusted? Who spoke the truth? Who controlled the legacy of Charlie Kirk? And all the while, the movement he built was imploding under the weight of accusation and counter-accusation. Podcasts, social media, political speeches, they all fed the fire. Even lawmakers weighed in, claiming martyrdom, staking their own claim on his influence. Meanwhile, Erika remained a calm, protective figure, caught between public scrutiny, family tension, and the relentless assault of conspiracy and speculation. By the end of the first week, the question had evolved. No longer was it solely, who killed Charlie Kirk? It became, whose truth will survive? The widow stood as if carved from stone, shielding her children and herself. The avenger roared, demanding that no detail be ignored, that no story die. Charlie Kirk's legacy, once unifying, had become the spark igniting a fire that could not be contained. The narrative was devouring itself. The movement, the family, the media empire, it all splintered under one gunshot. And as the dust settled on the blood-stained Utah Valley grass, the haunting question remained: who truly holds the story and who will write the ending.